Hi guys, so if you follow any of my videos at all or my blog, you know that with each book I have what I call a soundtrack that follows that book. And these are songs that just sort of get in my head the whole time I'm writing the book and I can't get them out. And usually they relate a lot to where the story is going, or they somehow, there's like a connection for me that I can't always explain. I think I had mentioned before, like, I think it was We're All Animals. Yes, We're All Animals. I couldn't get Pink Floyd music out of my head the whole time I was writing it. I listened to it obsessively. And then when I finished, I still listened to it, but not to the same crazy level that I was while writing the book. And with each book, it's always been the same. There's always been a soundtrack, and this one is no different. So this new book, A Devil Named Hernandez, is a follow-up to The Devil is Smooth Like Honey. And it follows George Hernandez, and even before I started writing it, there were certain songs that just stuck in my head, and I knew they connected. I could see very clearly some of the scenes that would take place in the book, and one of the songs, and I'm going to start listing them off now. And by the way, none of these songs may make sense, but for some reason, this whole book, it was a lot of Motley Crue, which I've always been a big fan of. It's a lot of Motley Crue. There's other stuff too, but when I name the songs, some may make a lot of sense, and some may not make sense at all to you, but to me they do, so, you know, maybe when you read the book you'll see what I mean. Anyway, the first one would be 10 Seconds to Love, which is a really old Motley Crue song. That's like probably one of their first songs, I think. And I don't know the exact year. I'm thinking very early 80s. Love that song, and although it has to do with sort of maybe an encounter of some kind. Actually, for me, I visualized the first scene that I talk about in the book, which is a scene from back in the 90s. It would have been when George and Diego first met, and it's him remembering a scene or a time in his life where he was at a party and Diego was there, and a very specific conversation he had with him. And I just continually seen that scene play out perfectly whenever I was listening to the song, and it connected completely. It actually is a couple scenes. The scene also from Pages Past that sprang out in my mind when I was listening to the song. It comes up later in the book. Another Motley Crue song would be Dr. Feelgood, which makes sense if you consider that the books are following somebody who's with the cartel. Makes sense because they do kind of talk about that in the song. If you listen to it, it actually connects with the scene where George is talking to his daughter, and I won't really get into that, but they kind of talk about what he does for a living. And what else? Welcome to the Jungle. I see that in my list. Welcome to the Jungle, that's an older Guns N' Roses song from the early years, I guess, probably the late 80s. I remember it very well. Probably gives my age away, but anyway, yeah, so Welcome to the Jungle suits, there's one particular scene, and in the scene, it's probably the most barbaric scene the most violent scene I've ever wrote. And it makes sense. There was something at the very end of the song, sort of how there's like a really strong point that connected to a very specific moment in this book. And again, I don't really want to get into it here. You'll have to read it to see, but it's very barbaric. It's when Hernandez learns that somebody has plans or is thinking about hurting his wife, and there's threatening either his wife or his daughter is probably the worst thing you can do for this man. There's no holds bar. I mean, if he finds out somebody is going to or has hurt either of those people, look out. Just look out. I'm trying to think what other songs. I'm looking at my list. My writing is so terrible. There's a song called Something Just Like This. It's, oh my god, I just went blank. Who does it? Who's Coldplay and someone else. Anyway, I did good to remember Coldplay. Just give me a break. Yeah, so I absolutely love that song. Totally fell in love with that song. And there's a few moments in this book, sort of lighter moments, I guess, compared to what I'm just been speaking about, where that song really played into sort of the more family life, the sort of the more softer scenes in the book. And it's just a beautiful song. Absolutely love it. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, there's some other songs, but those are the ones that really stand out. I mean, as usual, I always listen to a lot of Spanish guitar when I'm writing. I listen to a lot of meditation music. It just really varies from day to day. But those are the songs that really stand out, that really are kind of the soundtrack for me, in my mind, for this particular book. I was going to say CD. Book. I don't write CDs. Anyway, yeah, so if you want to learn more, I'm going to have a blog posted just below this video where I talk a little bit more about it, maybe get into more detail and post the videos that for the songs I'm talking about. Anyway, have a great day, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.